Hey there, Chad here. Thanks for joining me. Let's play NewsTower. This is the sounding rocket. We are picking up right where we left off. It is August of 1932, and one of the things I talked about last time was going ahead and buying another floor because I have plenty of money right now. I'm not going to buy two, but I even have enough money to buy a second floor if I needed to. Where I've been hurting is influence points, and I might have enough influence now to be able to afford the cartographer, but I also want to look and see if there's anything else I need to consider first. Now, while I am sitting here, another consideration, we are starting to get to where a second generator is going to be necessary. Not just yet, but it isn't that far off either. We're at 79, 80% before putting any desks in here. So that's something to consider as well. This is a dark room. It's supposed to be that color. Do we have a wallpaper for that? I don't remember if there is one. There's acoustic, cuts down on sound, industrial. I don't know if temperature is an issue over there. Smell is an issue over there. Well, we have tiles for that, so we can help with that. And we also had purchased it'll be a production accessory. We purchased like a dark light, development light. That's what it is. We can put that right here. Okay, well that's nice. That worked well. We have smell over here as well, but she is smell tolerant, if you recall. We did make that happen. I'm wondering if, so her skill set is what does it look like? Oh, that is our photographer, so never mind. They just have the camera. So we would need to find, well, you know what? Here's an easier way to do this. Do we have any, there we go. Do we have any accessories that will help? Those accessories are over here, and we don't have them yet. We can pick some up. I'm going to wait for just a second on that, though, and look around and make sure there's nothing else that we were sort of waiting on. Art Deco wallpaper, that can be helpful. And I'm wondering what the radio helps with. It counters noise and it's prestigious. That's good. Art Deco makes sense that that would be prestigious, and I think we have those things. Yeah, okay. Entertainment, the gramophone helps with. So the cartography location. Well, I guess no time like the present to go ahead and buy that. I do feel like, oh, so I know one thing we had looked at and never pulled the trigger on, and that was the additional desks that are offered. Like there's a sports desk. That's probably over here, right? Sports results desk. That's 24 influence. I think there was obituaries maybe over here, something like that. Obituary desk, there it is. Okay, well we have to get the society bookcase before we can get to that, and that's fine. But it adds a bit, basically it just adds another reporter type to our building, and that's fine. Let's go ahead and go back. So we are already working on an ad. We want to go ahead and finish that and hopefully remember to do another ad this time. I'm going to really try to remember, folks. A singular entertainment story. Well, we're not doing anything else right now. It's early in the week. Let's get a story out there that we'll be able to use. This is probably old news at this point. Yep. It's not even glamorous. I'm going to go ahead and kill it. I don't want to think I have more stories out there than I do. Oh, I know. We got that diplomat tag. I wanted to see what it is. Opens up diplomatic route trait locks in news. Okay, I don't know exactly what that means. Yeah, not really telling me what it can do for us. These are a little more explanatory. That's okay. Let's come back out here, fire things up, talk about how we're going to move our reporters. So we have reporters kind of scattered in a lot of places. I don't think that's a reporter then. Yeah, that's the text editing desk. They need to be close to assemblers and that, so we can kind of live with that. Just looking here, so we have 3 reporters here. I think we have 3 reporters here. That is like the illustrator. Yep, the illustrator is there. Some of their parts are over here. Let's start moving reporters up to here. And I kind of like to know who's who, so I know how I can match up the bonuses. So we're gonna get started. And the story came in. Okay. Econ, followed by some influence and a statistics tag. I know one of the places we were looking at needed statistics, but I don't think it was this one. Yeah, it's not. That's all right. More tags. Good. We have a gold tag on this one if we can get to it. Should be able to. We are just in the beginning of Tuesday. And I'm going to pause for a second so I don't get too far ahead of myself. There we go, though. That'll work. The ship, I think, is going to start moving. There it goes. Heard it hit its horn. That ad is still being worked. Although that doesn't mean it's being worked by our ad person. In fact, it is not. So let's... we need an illustrator for this second half of this one. Let's go ahead and try that. Okay, reporters. I was moving reporters. And we are trying to move the ones that have common traits. So pausing for a second. Politics, society, sports. Society, sports, econ. That's okay. Econ, entertainment, crime. We'll go ahead and move them to here for now. And then we're going to come down here to where these 3 are. This one has crime, so we're going to go there. Crime, econ. Crime, politics, society. Just society. Politics and society. So you can kind of see how these might get chained together in a way that is advantageous to everybody sitting on either side of whomever. A lot of words, but the idea being I'm trying to get them just kind of organized so that they're next to a buddy where they share a story type so that we can minimize the number of these that we end up having to put up there. And there's one of them. We do still want some waste baskets up here. Goodness. Okay. I didn't think I was going to get all 6 of them right next to each other, but we did with room to spare. Okay. And then like entertainment. Oh no, I'm sorry. Crime. Well, double crime over here. Let's get that one in there. Were there any others? Not here. The election map. Go ahead and go there with that part of it. This will be society. Man, if I can put that one in the middle, actually. So I can find a better place for this, like down here. I might be able to... That can affect all 3 of them. Boom. Nice. That's the crime board. Here we go. More sports stuff. Ball bat. More boxing gloves. More posters as well. We're going to put this one over here. Help them out. Lots of trash. The gloves. So I think what this is telling me is they already have one that's benefiting them. So we'll do that. That should be affecting everybody now. I'm not sure why these are hanging on. I'd rather they not. Let's change maps. Well, I think we might have a... Hopefully it's not, but it sort of looks a little buggy, doesn't it? If it won't go away. We'll come back to that. Were there any others down here? So we don't have anybody utilizing the coat rack now. Oh, entertainment. That's the one that yeah, entertainment is split. So we'll put one there and we'll see if we can find some other stuff to put over here for them. But otherwise, I think we're in pretty good shape there. More paper. There's a wastebasket. Get it over there. Okay. Moving on. Looks like we're going to need to put an air vent in. This is that statistics story with a 4 influence point tag. Well, we only have the one reporter right now that's able to work that, so there we go. We are very early in the week. And smell is a factor here. Again, the good news is she is resistant, but not everybody is. So, is that utilities? No. Comfort, there we go. Let's see about an air vent here. Should help a little. We'll just go with the one for now. And the other thing is, I think plants help too. Big fan would help, but I would have to move some stuff around. Oh, there we go. That'll help a lot, actually. And then just a plant for comfort would not be the worst thing. Combats a few different things. We'll put that right there. Clock on the wall. Clock's on the wall here. Yeah, I think that works. Last thing, if we did not. I was thinking we might have like water down here. We don't right now. So I'm not sure who we're going to put in here. We will figure that out here in the very, very near future. Couple of thoughts. We could move like the dark room and the photographer down to here. We could maybe look at rearranging these desks. And then of course I just mentioned I wanted to add another assembler and typesetter in the I mentioned that in the previous episode, but those are some options for us. Let's get going. Okay, part 2. We're going to send Charlotte. She'll fire right through that. Send Elaine for this one. How are we doing on that ad? There it is. Let's send it to the illustrator. He's still a little slow, but she can start working on this one. Let's do that. Yeah, that'll work. I do want to see if there's other reporter bonuses, reporting accessories that we haven't thought to use yet. There's a politics poster. That can be helpful for them. Globe. Looks like everybody who needs a globe has a globe. The illustrator can use pencils, but I think he already has them. He does. There's the world map for the cartographer, which we don't actually have yet. Okay. Why is she heartbroken? Let's see if we can figure that out. Feeling uncomfortable. Because of smell, probably. All right, well, let's go ahead and deal with that really, really quickly here. And put in an air vent. That's got to help, right? Along with a big fan. There we go. Okay, what do we have up here? All right, ready to advance that. Let's do it. And then secondly, new story down here. Needs a photographer. All right. Well, the only problem there is our photographer is not talented yet. So we're going to have to kind of work this around a little bit and try to get in a situation where, oh, we need to order some paper, where we can make that work. There we go. So we'll drop Elaine in there, and let's go see what this new story is. There's a mob story, and we do need one of those this week, and we also need a statement, don't we? Did he want that? Oh, we need a statement here. A statement will be great. Let's see if we can get that. So, of course, I just misclicked. Let's get whomever, and Charlotte is perfect for this. She can get it done in 11 hours. Advance us from there. If she can do that half of the story too, that would be even better. Don't think she can though. But Elaine might be able to. So yeah, let's hope we can get this one in. And then I know I heard the badunk that something was done, but I didn't see what it was. All right, well, I'm not going to worry about it too much. Let's let her go. So this bare space we have here now, I got to make some decisions on what we might want to do. One option is to move this to over here and open this up for something completely different. If this is all we need for the photographer, coupled with what we need for the illustrator, we're going to put them all on the same floor, I think. Generator might end up going here. Okay. Ah, it's bribe time. Well, we're going to want this story, so we're just doing it. Not going to dance around it there. And then Robert looks like he's going to be the first to be ready. It is a day and a half story, which is going to put it at mid Friday. He can do it in a day. It'll be done end of Friday. So we should be okay. It'll be delivered at some point Saturday. I think it'll get done. Time will tell. And we get to use our photographer and make sure we're able to get through that process. So there we go. All righty. We just don't have a triumphant story. Isn't that crazy? Here comes a triumphant story. Nope, not this time. And railroad income drops. Yeah, that was a problem throughout the 20th century, wasn't it? I do love me some train games. I haven't had a really solid computer one in a long time. I do a lot of board games that are train games. There's a series of games called 18XX. It's 1800s is what it is, and then the different numbers that you fill in there are different games that are based on different parts of the world with a relatively common rule set. They're not all identical. Some stretch the rule set a little more than others, but in general they play very much the same, and it's very enjoyable. I've got several of those, and I have buddies who come over once a week, and we oftentimes are kicking one of those around. There is the roll the presses. Not sure why, I can't remember why I was staring at that one. I think I was trying to make a decision, and then I decided not to make a decision, didn't say anything. Let's come back to that. Yes, I was honestly trying to decide if I wanted to run this one. I think I'm going to, well, and I have slow played it to the end of the week, so that's kind of what my thought was. I just didn't say it out loud, didn't act on it. There we go, though. More of these firing up. That's a one-off. Why not? Okay, actually, are we... Well, we do have paper down here. And... Never mind. Okay. That was on me. So let's get to the end of Sunday. Really hoping that one gets completed. Another one that needs a photographer. This one is a choice. Well, it's not getting done this week. Well, I'm going to wait on it and see if we can wait till we have the photographer. That would be great. Also, it gives me a second chance to see, did I miss anything on what we need for that? We'll have Chris jump onto that one. That's still the photographer waiting story. And we are at time for Sunday. So let's run our paper. What do we got? Oh, goodness. Well, this one is gigantic. So that one definitely goes there. We have a couple more of these that have influence. So all my concern about not having influence, and now we're going to be rolling in it for a while, I don't have a problem with that. I'm going to maximize those, though, by putting them in the multipliers. And then we will come back around and fill in where we can. Okay, so this is politics, society, and spokesman. I don't think we had a really good match for that. No. So we're going to put the mob story right here. How much of that are we covering then? We are done covering the mafia story. So that's going to be 4 more that we grab. Let's see. We can drop an ad. Which one did I just see? It was this one, right? We'll drop that ad right there. Okay, on this page, society, investigative. That's a nice match. Heartbreak. Not ready. Was there crime on here? There's no crime. There's more society. So we'll do that. Here we have econ. Do have an econ story right there. We don't have a statistics story. We don't have any other entertainment stories, so we'll put that one there and hope we get a couple of matches here, and we get one. And then we get another ad. So 239,000. I don't think that's a record for us. I feel like there was one I wanted to check on, and I'm not seeing it right now. So that's okay. Oh, the photographer. Yeah, the one with the photographer. We didn't end up getting it in. Here's one right here. It's 3 days out. Photo process, then chemical engraver, and then assembly. So, okay. Well, I think that tells us Photo process is next. We'll want to figure out what that looks like. But for now, I think we can go with what we have here. Now, I do remember on our big board here, we had more potential mafia coming, although I think we're past this one now. Didn't we hit this one last time? So I think we're down here. That's always confusing to me. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and run this. There we go. Woman missing for years. Not a record, but a lot of sales. A lot of sales. So we're good with that. 44 influence points. That was a heck of an influence week for us. Where's that been waiting, huh? This is great. Okay, so moving on, we satisfied him when, so we got some of those points, got $1,000. Can't believe we didn't find a triumph story, but that's okay. How's this moving? I bet it went the other way. We do have mob coming. Or is that the one we already hit? I don't remember. I can't remember how this works. And my understanding from talking to Jean-Martin Nachtigella is that that might be going away. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. And it looks like we lucked out. Yes, we got lucky there. Awesome. I don't mind that once in a while. And there's our ad outlook. Outstanding. More and more people leveling up. Okay. So I kind of missed what just happened over there because we were over here, but something definitely jumped here when we were first jumping into the screen. Let's see what everybody wants. Who said anything about dirty money? He wants no crime printed this week. That is a possibility. We don't have any in the works. We also don't have any mafia in the works, and that will be necessary as well. But no mobsters coming if we don't do it. He's still looking for these tags. I might just get that one done, get it out of the way. I didn't see any reviews coming, and those will be 10 points. So maybe once we have one of those, we try to slow play it, and then we run them in another week. Let's go with the mayor this week. Just get past this if we can. If we find them, hey, that's great. But, I mean, we do have the editor desk. They don't even like us running those kinds of ads. So, oh, and then we need to select a neighborhood. Well, this neighborhood is selected, and it needs Triumph, but as we saw, we didn't get any of those. We do have a spokesman one out there waiting. We could hit this one. Hope we get maybe inspiring. There's also an unveiling, and that would unlock St. Paul's School, which gives us some other items here. Inverts the story file's perception if it has any. Okay, so that is like if it's a left or a right pointer, it'll swap it. So these are other traits we can teach people is what it comes down to. Negates injury risks on news. Okay, well that's the one that when you're going to get beat up, that's where you go. And then we have a few others. Adds a quality star for every maximum level skill without buffs. Awesome. Okay. Well, I'm thinking we go for something that's a little more central and achievable to continue our goals. Let's go with Newark. Maybe we get lucky and get an inspiring story and close that one out. There's our two picks, and here we are, and that was August of 1932 here at the Sounding Rocket. We will pick up right about here next time we play. Thank you for watching, and until next time, fair travels.